Greetings, my name is Chamomile and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today we're looking at Meerian Sector in the 10th Crimson Dagger Command of the Trans-Hydean region of the Outer Rim. The Sect are a supposedly insectoid species of caveman aliens. As usual, I find it hard to believe that these guys have somehow never adopted galactic standard technology despite having been in explored space since fairly early in the Old Republic era. They're also really caveman-y caveman aliens, with their whole culture revolving around the ancient words, an oral tradition telling the history of their species. Oral traditions are perfectly typical things, but they're also much more common among Stone and Bronze Age societies than Iron, Steam, or Space Age societies, so I find it suspicious that these caveman aliens have an oral tradition that's basically called the oral tradition. Just seems like something an outsider from a culture with a literary tradition would make up when inventing a Stone Age society, rather than something a Stone Age society would invent for themselves. Meerian Sector was one of the first Republic sectors targeted by the Mandalorians during their Neo-Crusade, a revenge campaign to restore Mandalorian martial pride and expand their territory after they and their Sith allies lost the Exar Kun War a few decades earlier. The mining world of Vanquo was turned into a Republic fortress, and the Mandalorians made diversionary attacks there to draw in the main Republic fleet before their primary attack fell on Taris. Turns out that was completely unnecessary though, because they captured both planets. Flashpoint is a star system that fell under Mandalorian control during the Mandalorian Wars. The Neo-Crusaders established a space station here, where captured Jedi were experimented upon to try and find the source of their force powers. The Jedi eventually rioted, seized control of the station, and drove off or killed all Mandalorians aboard before departing themselves. No word on what happened to the station after that. Maybe it decayed into the star. It's been thousands of years, so there's plenty of time for that to happen. But if not, then surely the Empire popped in to see if there was anything useful for Project Necromancer, right? Meerian is also home to Bandamir, which wasn't unimportant to the Mandalorian Wars, but comes up in the Late Republic era. Bandamir is a pretty unremarkable agri-world, but according to the stories, Qui-Gon Jinn's failed apprentice Xanatos once sent a fake distress signal from the planet, and Qui-Gon went there with Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Jedi Padawan who'd bounced out to the Agri-Corps after no Jedi Master would take him on as an apprentice. The maverick Qui-Gon had his eye on the kid, though, and decided to respond to the distress signal from the planet Obi-Wan was bound for. Xanatos was affiliated with Off-World Mining Company, that's capital O, M, and C, the company is called that. I assume it's because their headquarters are located on a planet that they don't have any mines on. Anyway, it's a mining company with operations on Bandamir, and which transported lots of mining explosives in, and which was also having a low-key war with rival corporation Arcona Mineral Harvest, so all kinds of wacky accidents could happen without implicating Xanatos in particular. Xanatos had never gotten over being bounced out of the Jedi Order, and took the opportunity to try and blow Qui-Gon Jinn up for revenge, but Qui-Gon thwarted the scheme with Obi-Wan's assistance. Obi-Wan having performed well in Qui-Gon's improvised trial by fire, he took Obi-Wan as his Padawan apprentice. I like this story, I want it to be true, but it is unconfirmed, and I do find it kind of contrived that Obi-Wan was assigned to a planet that just so happened to have a distress signal sent by an old apprentice of Qui-Gon's, one who had been kicked out of the Jedi Order when Qui-Gon deemed him unworthy to complete his training. Like, what are the odds that Obi-Wan gets sent to the one planet that's being menaced by Qui-Gon's rogue apprentice?